What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Pitching Ninja's filthiest pitches of the day. I am Pitching Ninja, and I'm here with Will Leahey. What's happening, Will?
Hey Ninja, I'd like to start the show by issuing an apology to Rafael Devers and the rest of Red Sox Nation. I completely jinxed the home run streak. I said it was going to go 16 games. It was the first time I weighed in on it, and it immediately stopped. So sorry, everybody.
You're a real jerk.
Yeah, it might be. But Ninja, also, did you see O'Neill Cruz yesterday with 3 cruise missiles above 115 miles an hour all in the same game? He had the hardest hit ball of the season at 121 and a half. And he's the only guy ever to have 2 balls in the same game over 120 and 3, and also had 3 over 115. And they won the game. He had a game tying double in the ninth. I mean, the guy's an absolute stud.
He had a 120, and then which was the fastest of the season, and then topped it again. Like, it was crazy.
Yep.
Give me all those guys. Give me guys with tools out the.
Easy, Ninja.
Now on to our whip around the league. I'm going to start with Adrian Hauser, who had 4 Ks in 5 innings, giving up 6 runs. He had this paintish backdoor 2-seamer, as well as his changeup and slider. And he faced my man, Zay Curry, who had 2 Ks in 4 1/3 innings, giving up 2 runs. He had his fastball and curveball. I say my man, he pitched with my son at Georgia Tech. Really good dude. Trevor Rogers had 4 Ks in 3 2/3 innings, giving up 4 runs. He had the slider and changeup. He faced Robert Gasser, who was more like an inert gas, I think. He had no Ks in 6 innings, giving up 10 hits and 4 earned runs. So I don't got nada for him. But I had that inert gas joke, and chemistry jokes are just the best. Joe Musgrove had 3 Ks in 3 innings, giving up no earned runs. He had these curveballs and picked up a couple of swords. He faced Andrew Abbott, who had 2 Ks in 7 scoreless innings, giving up 4 hits, and had this sweeper. Logan Webb had 6 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 2 runs. Threw 40% changeups this game and picked up a sword on one of them. All 9 of his swings and misses this game were on changeups. Just dominated with his changeup all day. He faced Martin Perez, who had 4 Ks in 4 1/3 innings, giving up 2 earned runs. Perez had these 2-seamers, including this painted 2-seamer. Joe Ryan had 6 Ks in 7 scoreless innings, giving up 3 hits. He had this fastball, including this elevated fastball and this splitter. He faced Patrick Corbin, who was very Patrick Corbin-like. He had 3 Ks in 6 innings and gave up 8 runs. He had this slider. Every other game is a train wreck.
You have a soft spot in your heart for Corbin. I feel like he gets more attention on this show than
he should. Because he used to be good. Like, I used to really love watching him pitch, and now he throws in stinkers too often. Cal Quantrill had 8 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 2 runs. He had these elevated fastballs, this 2-seamer and splitter. He faced Aaron Brooks, who had 3 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 3 runs, had these sliders and picked up a sword. Cooper Criswell had 6 Ks in 5 1/3 innings, giving up 2 runs. His sinker, cutters, including this elevated cutter, his sweeper, and his changeup. He faced Zach Littell, who had 7 Ks in 5 2/3 innings, giving up 2 runs. He had this fastball, this elevated slider, and this splitter. Griffin Canning had 2 Ks in 5 innings, giving up 2 runs. He had these sliders. He faced Christian Javier, who had 1 K in 4 innings, giving up 4 runs, and got his K on this elevated fastball. Casey Mize had 2 Ks in 1 2/3 innings, but gave up 6 runs. He had this fastball and splitter. He faced Alec Marsh, who had 5 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 3 runs, and had these fastballs, including this painted fastball and this curveball. You say Kikuchi, I say Kikuchi. You say Kikuchi. Had 6 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 2 earned runs. He had these sliders, including this back foot slider, this curveball, and these changeups. And he faced Garrett Crochet, who had 4 Ks in 6 scoreless innings, giving up 2 hits, and freaking love Garrett Crochet's stuff. He had these heaters up to 99 miles an hour and these high velo cutters. Get him off the White Sox, please. In a suspended game, Lance Lynn had 5 Ks in 6 innings, giving up no earned runs, and had these fastballs. He faced Kyle Bradish, who had 6 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 1 run. He had these elevated heaters and the slider. Charlie F. and Morton had 8 Ks in 5 innings, giving up 1 earned run. He had this 2-seamer that broke 17 inches, these curveballs of 3,149 RPMs, 3,320 RPMs and 3,347 RPMs. Look at that thing. I overlaid that curveball with his two-seamer, and as a hitter, basically you could just go yourself because you ain't going to hit this.
Well said, Ninja.
He faced Javier Assad, who had 4 Ks in 4 2/3 innings, giving up 2 earned runs. He had this painted backdoor two-seamer, this cutter, and this curveball. Brian Wu had 7 Ks in 6 scoreless innings, giving up 2 hits. Yep, Ric Flair's favorite pitcher, coming through big time against the Yankees. These fastballs, including these elevated fastballs, because if there's one thing hitters know when facing Brian Wu and his elevated fastballs, you must protect your neck. He faced Clark Schmidt, who had 6 Ks in 5 innings, giving up 2 runs. Schmidt had these cutters and knuckle curves. And after the game, he thought he was tipping pitches potentially with a runner on second base here. I tried to go through this sequence to see what the runner on second would have been relaying and how he would have been relaying it. I think it was Rojas here on second. And you can see Rojas looked like he turned his head maybe to indicate that the pitch was going to be outside right before that home run. So it's not impossible. It's always hard to tell. But yeah, I mean, Schmidt could have been right. Runner on second often relays catcher position as well as maybe pitch type. What do y'all think? Leave me your thoughts in the comments. Brandon Pfaadt had 7 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 2 earned runs. He had these two-seamers with up to 19 inches of run, as well as these sweepers with up to 16 inches of break. And his sweepers look freaking awesome. I mean, look at the movement on these things. Just disgusting. He faced Gavin Stone, who had 5 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 4 runs. Had these fastballs, including this painted one and this paint dish one. John Gray had 4 Ks in 5 innings, giving up 2 runs. He had these sliders and picked up a sword. And he faced yesterday's filthiest starting pitcher of the day, Ranger Suarez. Ranger Suarez had 10 strikeouts in 7 innings, giving up only 1 run. He's third in the NL Cy Young race this year right now, behind Zach Wheeler and Shota Imanaga. Had these fastballs, including a couple of painted sinkers, picked up a sword on one, had this slider, curveball, changeups, a kitchen sink. He throws freaking everything with great command. He's just a really good pitcher. His ERA now is 1.36. He has a 9-0 record. I know we don't look at wins and losses, but 9-0, you got to kind of look at that. He's the first pitcher to start the season 9-0 with a sub 1.5 ERA since Juan Marichal did in 1966. He has the third lowest ERA through 10 starts in franchise history. The only one lower is Grover Cleveland Alexander. And I decided to match up Grover Cleveland Alexander with Ranger Suarez side by side, and they're very different, but it's kind of cool to have a pitcher from like the 1910s and Ranger Suarez next to each other, right?
It's crucial stuff, Ninja.
Now onto my filthiest relievers. Cue the saxophone. Alexis Diaz had this slider. Jordan Leisure, cue the leisure suits. Jordan Leisure had this fastball and slider in the dirt. Trevor Richards had this changeup and fastball. Nick Sandlin had this splitter and slider for a sword. Greg Weissert had this sweeper and two-seamer. Josh Hader had this slider. Andres Munoz had this dirty slider. Griffin Jacks had this disgusting stuff, these curveballs and sweepers. Jose Alvarado had these devilish cutters. Trevor McGill had this 100-mile-an-hour fastball, 98-mile-an-hour heater, and hammer knuckle curve. Michael Kopech threw these flames and threw in a cutter. And Mark Leiter Jr. had these splitters and curveball. My top 5 filthiest pitches of the day yesterday. At number 5, Ranger Suarez. And Will, you just pick something. Throw it in there. I don't care. Ranger's just a nasty dude. At number 4, we have this splitter from Fernando Cruz. Look at this thing. It is unhittable. Fernando Cruz has a 61.2% whiff rate on his splitter this season, and opponents are only slugging .071 against it. I would just throw that pitch. To me, if I get a 61% whiff rate on a splitter, I'm throwing it all the time, and Fernando Cruz kind of does. Here's an overlay of his fastball and splitter You can see why this splitter wreaks havoc with hitters. It tunnels well with his fastball, same arm action, and that thing just disappears. At number 3, we have Brandon Pfaadt and his wicked sweepers. At number 2, Charlie Morton and his ridiculous 3,347 RPM curveball. Call it old man spin. And at number 1, if he's pitching, he's number 1. It's medieval Mason Miller. He had these heaters up to 103 miles an hour. This slider that almost broke Charlie Blackmon. I mean, you cannot throw 103, 102, whatever, and throw a slider like that unless you're Mason Miller. The dude is freaking disgusting. Mason Miller, you are the filthiest pitcher of the day almost every day. Even when you don't pitch, you'll probably win sometime.
Oh, man.
And now, my pitching ninja moment of zen. This ball appears to go right into some nachos here. And the fan did not catch it because it is nacho ball.
There it is.
My picks of the day today are 4-leg parlay. We're going to go with Cole Reagans for 6 Ks or more, Michael King for 6 Ks or more, Bryce Miller for 5 Ks or more, and top it off with Max Fried for 5 Ks or more. What would your picks of the day be?